Hello, everybody. This is Purge, bringing you another first-person gameplay commentary. Except I'm doing it after the fact. I'm so sorry. My voice is still a little sick, so I didn't quite intro that right. I apologize, but this is a replay. Oops, I have to put this in player perspective. Actually, let's do it like this, and somebody is going to slowly load. I played this game yesterday, I believe. I played it on the EU server with Meepone, who's a Dota 2 beta tester, and the guy from Dota Buff, the Ruler. And a couple of their friends. I believe this is an EU server game, but I can't remember exactly. I don't know what it's all pick apparently. I think I randomed. Yeah, it looks like I already randomed. Death Prophet is what I picked. I'll put that in me. I don't know if that's actually going to select me, but we'll see in a second. And I think it's been a while since I made a Death Prophet gameplay. I kind of wish I live commentated this. I played this game really well. I was quite proud of it. But regardless, it was kind of nice to just zone out and dominate face generally. So Death Prophet, another thing by the way is that I know some people wish that I gave more basic commentary sometimes, because I oftentimes go over the basic things a little bit too fast, and dicing in one of these, a commentary after the fact once in a while, gives me way more time to talk. I mean, I can just talk the whole time basically, because I don't have to worry about you know, messing up my play by talking the whole time. I can just, you know, enjoy it and give lots of commentary. So looks like we're about to be in the game. Unless whoever this is taking 25 freaking minutes to pick. I think I have to press like 8 or something, 9. There we go. Alright, so this is me. I randomed 853 gold. Keep in mind things are going to look slightly different on the map. For example, I can see the position of everybody on the Radiant team based on the replay, but not based on the fact that I was in game. Obviously not cheating. It's not possible to cheat in Dota 2 as far as I know. I'm going to be going for a solo mid roll. I was a little unsure what I wanted to buy with my starting items. At first I bought a null talisman and was considering going for the null triple ironwood build, but then I said, well, if I get the null talisman, I have lots of base damage, but then I'll be quite delayed from getting my bottle. So what I instead opted for is this build. So this is kind of like a hybrid of a last hitting build. Mostly, and that's what it is typically. It's a last hitting build, but really it should help me get to bottle even faster, because if you look at my gold, that's equivalent to having just 3 ironwood branches and a tango. So I basically get a free mantle and I get a free extra salve out of this. And this is pretty significant in the mid roll. I wasn't sure who I was going to be playing mid. If you look at the map, you can see it's going to be a Bane, but normally if you're playing a mid-roll and the person playing against you is equally skilled and you're both pretty good at last hitting, then having extra base damage is a massive advantage. Massive advantage. And you guys might not understand it very much, but once you get to really high skill levels, I promise it does make a big difference. I don't remember if can you see my typing? I don't know if you'll be able to see my typing. I did respond to this guy. Yeah, I typed him. That was yesterday. I was moderately sick yesterday. You will not be able to see my click drags, unfortunately, but you can tell that's what I was trying to do at the time. Anyways, so 3 ironwood branches, a mantle of intelligence gives me plus 6 damage. I have 56 damage instead of 50, and I have lots of regen from a salve and a tango. And now you'll see me typing a lot about Ghost League. Ghost League will still exist probably. I just want to make sure that I explained it accurately. Yep, that's basically what's going on. We're just not obligated to cast it anymore, but we can still possibly cast those matches if they end up continuing Ghost League seasons. That's all. And Meepone is also a cool guy. I met him at TI2. He's really fun. Pretty sweet dude. He's from Germany, I believe. So anyways, while still getting this extra base damage, just plus 6 damage from my stats, I can also still get a pretty fast bottle. What I'll end up doing is drop in an ironwood branch most likely, and then bringing the bottle to myself at that point. But I also have a salve and a tango, so I have plenty of regen for the early game here. So, of course, blocking, very important. I'm going to queue up the bottle. I think I did it there. I think I queued up the bottle. I need to remember to do that more often. It's definitely a mistake that I need to work on, because it does sometimes, it'll save you sometimes a last hit in lane. That's an extra last hit attempt while you're shopping that you'll miss. So, important. Our team comp is okay. We don't really have a late game carry. They have a PL, so we have to be a little worried about that. I could carry this game because Death Prophet is kind of a semi-carry tanky hero. There was a period of time when Death Prophet was actually a popular carry, and that was when Bloodstone was overpowered and Heart gave you 1% permanent HP regen. not even including on damage. It would be permanent, like you would constantly get that 1% HP, which is something like 30 HP per second. It was really good. You'd get a Bloodstone. The charges also gave you 2 HP per second, so you'd get like 30 HP per second. I almost lost the block there, and then I would also have like a Shiva's Guard and other stuff like that. So Death Prophet, really classic hero, what used to be one of my favorites. I almost never play her. This is the first game I played her in a couple months, so hopefully things went well. My block was really, really good. This is the ideal place that you want to block against your opponents because it's right on the edge of the high ground. That means if he ever tries to harass me, I'll have a ranged advantage. He'll have mischance versus me, and I will have an advantage versus him. So starting things off with the last hit. He did a good job there going for the double hit. I actually tried to do it at the exact same time as him, so it kind of messed me up a bit. And I used a wave to get a last hit as well as do damage to him, which is important. I believe this is the period where he starts out last hitting me for just a bit. I tried to throw in a harass hit there. My wave is now going to push, and this is one of the things that come up when you end up having more creeps in the high ground. I should have attacked a lot earlier than that. I really messed up some of my animation stuff. And then in a second I'll probably check his base damage, and then I find out that his base damage is actually a lot higher than mine is. And right there I actually lost the last hit. If you saw, I clicked on the bottle. I went to go purchase a bottle, and then I ended up wasting my time there. I spot a bunch of heroes top. I'm going to go check the rune. I didn't actually know if anybody grabbed it or not, but he's going to get more or less. I think, yeah, he has 68 base damage. That's a huge advantage in terms of base damage versus him, so I'm going to end up losing one. I did nuke that one. I knew I wasn't going to, I had a lesser chance of getting the last hit. At this point I looked at the courier, I believe, and I was like, okay, the courier's coming. Look at that, he's got a double mantle. This is why he has so much base damage advantage over me. And I go to do this nuke and harass him a little bit. The wave is pushing, so I felt pretty comfortable. And then I did this really awesome play here, which involved getting my courier killed, which I was really happy about. So, and then I was just really apologetic over Skype. I mean, over voice chat. God, I was pissed about that. I do that regularly, though. And to make matters worse, I actually didn't get my bottle because my inventory was full. So I essentially got the courier killed, gave the entire enemy team a lot of gold, and I nerfed myself in the fact that I'm not going to get a bottle for 3 minutes. So that makes things pretty tough for me. He gets the die. On the bright side, I actually do have a lot of regen, so that's going to save me a lot of survivability in lane, but it's going to hurt my nuke power a lot, which is a big deal. So not going to have nuke power. Or at least not going to have as much. As you can see, I'm about to get another carry-on swarm. The reason you end up grabbing Witchcraft on Death Prophet for her build, I was really happy there that he actually brain set before my nuke hit him, because that means that I actually did do decent damage to him. It was kind of a trade there, and trying to continue to outlast hit him. I'm actually doing quite well in last hitting right now, up to almost 12. Messed up that one, but Witchcraft as well as the carry-on swarm levels are good. I also have Crystal Maiden's Brilliance Aura, so my mana regen should be pretty good. Witchcraft reduces the mana cost, I believe, of your nuke. Let's see if I can check. Mana cost and cooldown decrease as well. Yep. It also increases the AoE of your silence, I believe, and gives you passive movement speed. Does it reduces mana cost and cooldowns of Crypt Swarm and silence. Okay, it's both. Cool, I didn't realize it was both cooldowns. I knew it reduced the cooldown of silence, but I wasn't sure if it did quite both. I had to wait until after his attack to get that last hit, so that was just a little bit of mind games that I successfully employed. So, I've got enough money for boots. I've got about a minute left on the clock. All some good stuff here. And now I'm going to Uber last hit from range. I'm being really careful at this point, because he's getting a little bit higher on levels. I remember there was a point where I was worried about Alina actually coming, so I don't remember. I think it looked like I was misclicking there. There's a courier. What's he talking about? He doesn't have 0 armor. I tried to get that last hit, but I actually messed it up. But another brain sap from the Bane means that I will lose more HP. So, there's my salve popped. Once again, sucks that I lost my bottle, but of course, having all of that regen really paid off pretty hard. I happened to get that last hit somehow. He's doing a decent job last hitting, though. It's 4 minutes in. My last hit isn't fantastic for this lane setup, but it's not bad either. I have a much higher, that was really bad. I have a much better last hitting advantage over him, though, because I have AoE abilities. If you don't have AoEs, you can't really lane control as much. Now, Bane is kind of a scary mid-hero. Right here, I let him get some EXP because I wanted to check for a rune, and I did find a haste. At this point, I was like, oh, I want to go get that kill, but of course, he's dead. And I saw this Lina, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll just kill this Lina instead. And my opponent is going to barely survive here. Pretty sweet stuff. So I lose some EXP. This is a slight mistake because of the fact this means Bane is going to get uncontested EXP, and if he hits level 6, then I have to be really worried about dying. I just checked his level right there. It's hard for me to notice if I checked his level if I'm not the one looking, but I did check his level there. I also bought a flying courier because it was my mistake for it to die, so I wanted to play it safe. And there's the brain sap. I've got to be really careful. If Fiend's Grip is not going to kill me here, he's going to have to do nukes and right clicks, so keep that in mind. My strength gain is actually not too bad on Death Prophet, though she does have some early squishiness problems. Regardless, there's my bottle. 3 minutes delayed, of course. And I wanted to make sure that I can keep my HP up high, and there we go, more harass. He's going to use another brain sap. He's just trying to get my HP low so that he can use the Fiend's Grip combo. So I want to make sure that he can't do that. And once again, I'm going to use a bottle to get up to full HP. It looks like I'm going to lose maybe... No, maybe not. Maybe that bottle was perfect there. Once again, more nukes. He's letting me nuke the crap out of him. That's a big mistake from him, in my opinion. And he's letting me get some last hits and stuff. I don't know if I got this one or not.
Me first.
I'm guessing I did. I don't know. The places so yeah, most problems with Death Prophet in the mid lane revolve around her getting early ganked, but luckily nobody has ganked me. Her armor is not very high, and her survivability or HP is not very high either. So oftentimes there's a problem with Death Prophets in the early game, oftentimes between getting your tanky items up or not. In this case, I checked bot root, it's not there, so I know it's going to be top, so I'm going to go swing top here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Find an invis, and I spot Alina. Now at this point I have to be moderately careful. I'm still low HP. I've got a bottle. I've got pretty good last hits. I haven't died yet, so I'm pretty happy. I harassed the Bane a decent amount, so I feel pretty content with my survivability. Another thing that I'm coming up to do is going to be putting another point into Witchcraft at level 4, for the 4th level at level 7. Now this is something that I used to not do a long time ago, and the reason is because the mana efficiency of going to the 3rd level Witchcraft to the 4th is not very efficient. It'll actually put the cost up to, I think, 145 or something like that. I can't remember exactly. But basically the idea is that 3 levels of Crypt Swarm is actually pretty effective. I popped my invis here and I was actually looking to get a kill on this guy, and I think Bounty Hunter is about to come in, so here's one wave, and I'm chasing, but he actually was a little slow. He actually does not have boots. So, no kills there. And he's going to get brain sapped to like no HP, and I will just sit here. So yeah, when I hit 7, I will put the 4th level in a Crypt Swarm. It does do an extra 50 damage, but I think at times, I think it's okay now that Arcane Boots are so cheap. Like, mana used to be a slight problem for Death Prophet in the early game, but now that Arcane Boots exist, it's not a big deal. So yeah, the mana cost will go down to 140, but it could be at like 115 or something like that. It's very efficient. And spamming Death Prophet's, Crypt Swarm on Death Prophet is like a large way that she does damage. So I've got some decent movement speed. Oh, he actually TP'd out. I was wondering where that Lina went. Looks like he teleported back to base. So I'm just trying to help out here. They actually did have a ward up, so this guy's gonna die for show. So I will nuke here. Hopefully Crystal made it in. Nope, she'll still die. And from here, a lot of attack moving. I've got mana in about 5, which I've checked, of course. I'm just trying to do as much damage as possible.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
That Stout Shield's really survivable. And the track, so that means extra gold for everybody. So, good for me. I can now buy Arcane Boots. Try to give that to both guys. Knowing your AoEs of Arcane Boots is a pretty nice skill to have. So I'm going to go swing back to the mid lane. I could teleport perhaps, but it looks like I'm buying a wand, and I probably want to bring myself a TP scroll before I actually commit to the bot lane. Sounds like somebody's getting ultied over there. Is Tide going to live? I think I just heard the Bane sound, and Bane is top. Yeah, he is going to die. I didn't even check that before. I pick up a level of silence here because they have a lot of casters on their team, so I want to make sure that I actually have that up. I could try to solo push mid. Death Prophet's ulti is very, very good for pushing. Not the best at like level 6. I think there's much better heroes like Rasta, for example, kind of covers a lot of what Death Prophet does in the pre-8 levels, which includes nuke power as well as pushing power at 6. But I think Rasta is better for that role. Obviously, Rasta doesn't provide semi-carry roles or AoE silence. He provides disables instead, and I think he's a lot squishier, especially his build. But if you're just looking to push towers, I think there's better heroes than Death Prophet, basically. I was trying to figure out whether I wanted to show up there. I would add to walk, so I think what I opted to do is instead push, maybe. I can't remember exactly. And I'm getting a lot of farm anyways. Like my whole team's there, I don't necessarily need to converge, so I'm checking for Rune again. And now I see a PA. I'm just going to put some attacks into the tower because I know that the tower will aggro to the range creep first, and I will want to push this immediately afterwards. So just a couple more hits in there. Going to buy a TP scroll and send that all out to me. And of course, since we're on a replay, we can speed everything up. Alright, regular speed. So yeah, pretty good movement speed on this hero. Definitely recommend the early arcane boots on her. I think that's pretty effective. Phase boots can be very useful as well for the major movement speed, but the reason you grab arcane boots generally is because you want to build into a bloodstone, mostly. I got a regen here, and I'm going to find an invis. I knew there was fighting going on top, so I was going to TP top. And then I got a really good idea here. I saw that I had an invis, so I said, okay, I've got a regen. I'm going to pop my invis. I'm going to pop my ulti. So right now, they cannot see me 100%. They're going to see the spirits. They're going to be like, where is the Death Prophet? This is something I've seen some Death Prophets do before with like Lothars and things like that. And right now, I really want to kill this guy, so I tried to silence him as well, but I missed. Anyways, I ended up killing him. And now, I'm trying to do some juking. Some nukes now. And I was really smart and I ran right into the nukes, so I did end up dying regardless. I should have bottled up after I killed the Bane. As soon as I killed the Bane, I should have used at least one bottle charge. That was a mistake for me. I think I was typing a little bit there. And Tide gets the kill anyways, so slight mistake for me. We lost 2 for their 3, but still worth it. And that's one of those times that I was talking about where Death Prophet's a little weak in the early game. I mean, regardless of me having a pretty good lane, and I got that kill on Undying, or at least that assist on Undying, I was still a little bit squishy. The Lina was able to burst me down. I don't know what level she is, but she is level 8 actually, which is just about equivalent to what I was working with. So her HP is really good. I still only have 900 HP. My mana pool is really good, but I'm going to swing back to the mid lane. Looks like I'm not TPing for some reason. Gonna stroll on back. And I will build towards tank items pretty soon after this. So it looks like Meepon's getting initiated on, so I was trying to get in position here. And of course, as soon as that starts, I'm gonna cancel it. My really good Crypt Swarm, as you guys saw. But instead, we will then see PL die, which is actually a good trade completely. Trying to continue nuke these guys. I'm gonna silence him, and more nukes. That's right, I forgot I died twice in a row. Almost got the Bane though, his HP was so low. I should have played it safer, I should have put my ulti on, but once again the same situation arose. Not enough survivability. I think he can, no he didn't have mana, okay. He's just gonna hit him. I should have popped the ulti probably before trying to fight that. I needed to be a little bit less aggressive. I was a little too hyped up on aggressiveness from the hero, so. Early game, that's definitely usually the wrong time to try to be hyper aggressive. You have to be very careful in the early game, especially when you're playing Death Prophet. Like I said, you're not very tanky early. So at this point, I was like, okay, I just died twice. That kind of sucks. I'm going to TP somewhere, and I'm going to farm, and I'm going to try to get some, at least a vitality booster or something like that. I think at this point, though, I looked at the hero pool, and I said, well, we don't really have any supports, so I don't think anybody's going to be getting a mech. So I have to purchase a mech, I think. Now, mech as an item is actually pretty good on Death Prophet. The downside to it is that you obviously have to not be stunned to use it, so using that against a Lina or a Bane is maybe sometimes not going to work, but I figured the heals to my allies are more important than the possible losses of having a mech. And most importantly, getting a Bloodstone is very good, and I maybe made a mistake by going mech first this game, but the extra 5 armor is actually very useful, so. Well, there's my level 1 ulti with 4 levels of Witchcraft, which gives me more spirits. I'm doing some decent tower damage. I was just basically trying to push this since all of our heroes were mid. I didn't really want to commit to it super hard, so looking to take the creep wave and then the tower. Give my team some gold boost and then team fight mid if possible. You could argue that I maybe should have been mid, but as long as no team fight is happening, it's okay for me to do this. And I do end up getting the last hit. So 1700 gold from that. I got about 900 gold just from going to that lane and getting most of the last hits, so I was pretty happy with this. Mech is only 2300. I just put my ulti to level 2 as well. And silence is still only level 1, so the radius is still pretty shit. Alright, now is when I was buying the mech, I believe. Or at least the 2 mech components. We are taking damage over here. Death Prophet's also a very good counter pusher, by the way. That's something that you can do a little safer than a Rasta. That was just kind of like a getaway from my tower throw. We got the deny up at least. And I was gonna silence all the people. Man, silence is so good. And actually killed Alina there, so that ended up being really worth it. I mean, look at the damage on that. It's only 140 mana. He's gonna doom somebody. guess we're chasing this. Yeah, he gives up on that. I forgot about that. He did throw the Doom, but I don't know if the guy's going to die from it or not. We'll see. If he is, he'll get denied.
I owe you one.
I still haven't bought my mech. Alright, I think I'm doing it now finally. Wacha. Alright, so now I just have to farm a short 350 gold and I will have the mech. Looks like I'm bringing it to myself already, which is reasonably okay. Sell the mantle and then... probably not worth it to do that though. I think it would have been better if I just waited a little bit. But it does give me an extra 4 stats. 4 stats plus the 5 armor, which is actually pretty important for survivability at this point, even though most of their damage is magic.
Haste.
So from here, I was going to try to stack some of the creeps a little bit, and by that I mean get some combo. I actually didn't know if I hit them or not with my nuke, because I misclicked a couple times, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I misclicked. And then... Hell yeah, I'm awesome. I did hit it. I wasn't sure if I did or not. And now we see a lot of heroes in the jungle, so we're going to go fight this. Glad I went high ground because they're all in the jungle. Bounty Hunter gets killed. There's the Ravage. No silence on those two. I don't know if that was actually that beneficial or not, but I should really kill the Tombstone. So otherwise I would be kind of running through it before I actually got there. Kind of a little worried about running into that. I was going to pop my bottle here because I really needed a little more mana out of this, I think. And a drum, I'm sorry, that was the buckler charge on my allies, so. And I do have enough for the mech, so purchasing that would be smart. I believe I did that soon. Yep, there it is. Very important. Another nice thing, of course, about the new arcane boots is it does give you a lot more mana to be able to use things like mech. There he is, a bunch of heroes. That silence is so piddly at level 1. And they drained all my mana, actually, which was pretty annoying. But, no, I'm sorry, I did not pop my wand. I think I do soon, though. So I'm waiting carefully for arcane. And I was like, does anybody have arcane boots? Anybody have arcane boots? The answer is no. It's just me. So they kind of look like they're going to take our tower. I don't know if I really feel that comfortable defending at this point. So I still only have 1,000 HP.
Dire's top tower is under
It's
attack.
really not that much. Nuking the wave is huge though. I mean, look at the damage. 300 damage to all those creeps. And all of a sudden the creeps are dead, and how are they supposed to push in on this? Somebody's going to have to basically tank it. So it really is super beneficial to have Death Prophet as a counter-pushing nuker. Once again, her weakness is definitely the early game, but now that I have a mech picked up, as long as my mana pool is high enough to be able to nuke as well as pop mech, I think it makes Death Prophet good enough. At this point, I feel strong enough. Another item build that I could go is Bloodstone Rush first, which is useful. I'll talk about that later, but the nice thing about Bloodstone is lots of early survivability and mana regen and stuff, not to mention that you can take use of a lot of early kills if you get Bloodstone, but the downside is that it's quite expensive to buy the components. If I had Bloodstone components, I would have maybe a point booster right now. Maybe a vitality booster on top of that, and I would be sitting slightly higher HP, but I would my team wouldn't have the mech possibility. So, and in the meantime, I kind of know they're still there, but I'm still just gonna sit and farm this while I'm waiting. It looks like my team is actually fighting this, so I'm gonna stroll on in. Silence only on the Lina, slight mistake. Wand is used. I didn't really like them initiating on that because they actually lost just Crystal Maiden, but it's how things work out sometimes. I was really content just getting last hits, so. Kind of sad. Lowering all of my strength. I do have a cosmetic item on the hero, by the way. I think it's the dress that she's wearing or something. She looks slightly different in terms of colors than she did previously. And then Doom actually ultied, so I was like, alright, time to fight. That's exactly what I did. 6 silence on 2 heroes, am I right? And kind of the way to play Death Prophet is just to spend a lot of time running, basically. Just a lot of running. If you want to direct the spirits, you kind of have to right-click on heroes. That's usually the way to get them to aggro. Otherwise, they just kind of hit random crap. And once they run out, of course, they give you a full heal. Well, not a full heal. It's based on how much damage you do, but... all you have to really do is kill a couple creeps, and you should give you enough for a pretty good-sized heal. So we won the fight. Did I get 3 kills out of that? I guess I got 3 kills out of it. I know I killed Undying, I killed Bane, maybe one more.
Top tower is
I'm not sure. At this point, I was ready to buy a soul booster, so I think what I'm going to do is wait for my arcane boots, use them, disassemble them, and then put them into a soul booster. So
Radiant structures
soul
are
booster with boots. I
fortified.
kind of like getting the early soul booster myself rather than sitting on the arcane. Number one, of course, is it opens up my item slots. It gives you 100% mana regen, I believe, and 4 HP regen, which is actually pretty good. Soul booster used to not give you any regen at all. Actually, it used to only give you like terrible numbers, like 10% mana regen and like 1 HP per second. It was like, why am I building this? You know, it wasn't worth building it until you're completely finished. The perseverance is oftentimes much better. But I don't know, I like it. It gives you 400 HP, 450 HP, 400 mana. The HP or the mana regen is there. I already have Crystal Maiden Aura, I've got a bottle, so I felt pretty okay doing this. The typical Bloodstone disassemble, essentially. Perseverance is obviously good, but I feel like the Soul Booster is maybe the better option. And then we smoked around, tried to kill the Keeper. He looks quite dead. I silenced him to make sure there were no shenanigans, and I get the last hit somehow. And we had track gold, so very, very good. We could actually push from this. With Keeper of the Light being dead, we could actually go through pushing, so. She is, our Keeper of the Light's really good at counter pushing, believe it or not. And the creeps will come in now. My mana's still pretty low. Don't have enough for Bloodstone just yet. Need about 600 gold. I think, yeah, about 600 gold. A little bit more than that. Quite a bit, of course. I was thinking I had an invis rune. I was considering popping my ulti and just sitting there between the tier 2 and the tier 1, just doing the damage. But I checked with their inventories and they had dust because we have a bounty hunter. So I was like, okay, well I can't do that because if I do that, they'll just dust and kill me. So, and at this point we were laughing at the PL because he had a radiance, but it's just a radiance. And a radiance alone means that yeah, he's gonna do damage, but he won't have any HP and he won't be able to nuke very much. So at this point we're just kind of turning into a slow push. I opted to put my ulti down, do some AOE damage here. He's gonna put a tombstone down as well. But I feel pretty good about this one. Tombstone doesn't stack well with Nightmare, and as you can see, Bounty Hunter's off in the jungle somewhere. It looks like he's maybe gonna die. Yeah, he did end up dying. He was under a sentry. It was probably not really worth him for him to be that deep, in my opinion. Kind of looked like we wanted to fight here, but I had to be a little careful. Pop my invis here. My ulti ends like right at the wrong time, which sucked. But pop my mech to save Meepone. Oh, I didn't even see the Undying. Wow, I feel terrible now. Man. Alright, cool, he still died. Man, I would have felt. Oh, he canceled his Fiend's Grip. That was a big mistake for him. Wow, my mana regen is really good with bottle, of course. Alright, got some more kills. So I got a bunch of kills here. It would have been nice to have Bloodstone as that fight started because that would have given me a lot of mana regen overall until the end of the game. Once again, silence really showing how freaking good it is. Like honestly, I think the AoE silences from Death Prophet and Draw Ranger are amazingly useful. They're so good against so many heroes. Any caster lineup like this. I mean, if I could just silence them for 6 seconds, like, oh my god. That's like an Orchid on 3 enemy heroes. Who cares if it doesn't do bonus damage? I mean, the cooldown on silence is amazing. It really is. It's 11 seconds. You're up 6 seconds, down for 5. I mean, that's so useful. Crystal Maiden a little out of position there, but I needed to go by Perseverance, so. There it is. Now I have Bloodstone. Once again, I wish that I had all those kills happen after I got my Bloodstone, because it would have given me a lot of charges, which nets into a lot of regen. And I'm coming to fight again, because my allies are in a bunch of crap. So, bottle it is. Back at about 18, Meepone's going to go down, and I pop my ulti, and I'm kind of like, well, glad I just got here. Regardless, I get the tower, or I'm sorry, the tombstone. Let my spirits do some damage. I have the haste on still, so I'm pretty excited with this. I had to bottle there to get the mech off. Last second, it's going to keep him alive. Well, my haste ran out, and I was feeling a little worried at this point, so I decided to play a little safe. Crystal Maiden was still in there, apparently. I was really scared I was going to get nightmared right here, but he didn't happen. As soon as he came forward, I was like, oh god, run away. And I got out, so Bloodstone mech, very survivable in terms of HP, in terms of armor, I'm much better off. I have a burst heal, I have a wand for more burst heal. My movement speed isn't the best right now because I sold my boots. Arcane boots are slightly faster than regular boots, but I have a couple options here. You can either go phase for really good movement speed, especially when Bloodstone was OP on Death Prophet. Phase was the build to go. At that point, phase gave armor, actually. gave armor as well as the movement speed thing. It was like the best boots ever. So you get like phase boots, it would cover your armor gap and make you really fast. It was the best. That was so long ago. That was probably like 2 or 3 years ago, I bet. Regardless, boots now, I believe my choice was Boots of Travel because I'm greedy like that. The movement speed from Boots of Travel are actually very good. I didn't actually use them in the sense that I could use them to globally gank, or more importantly, I could farm and then TP to team fights and contribute to my allies, but the movement speed is really good. It's 100 movement speed. You can free up a slot for a TP scroll. I'd say either go Phase or Boots of Travel after you make your Bloodstone, after you disassemble your Arcane Boots into either Phase or Arcane Boots. I'm sorry, Boots of Travel. But since I was doing really well, I wasn't that concerned about it. I was having a quite good game. I did some counter pushing here. Wave gets killed. It's a little dangerous for me to be down here, but we did have a ward up, so I knew that I could see them if they came. And more importantly, I'm really, really fed right now. 8 kills, 2 deaths, and 2 assists with 110 last hits is pretty reasonably good. Obviously, the last hits are not perfect, but we've been kind of pushing a lot. So there's the Boots of Travel purchase, and now I'm going to go try to fight, but my allies are all going to die. And one little silence there. Unfortunately, got the Tombstone off in time. I still haven't popped my ulti for some reason. I just now popped my DD. Kind of fighting a bunch of dudes. The zombies are actually slowing me down by quite a bit here. But luckily, I once again silenced on 3. So good. I really felt like killing the zombies there. I was like, these zombies are being such a pain in the butt. That's a dead Bane. Actually got a little worried about my HP right now. Oh, the Tombstone died. I don't know if somebody killed it or what. Or something dying randomly. And there's my heal. My ulti ends. I'm like, whatever. I got spirits. We'll just tank the tower. It's not that bad. I mean, I've got 15 HP per second. Like, my survivability is very, very healthy. And we got another kill. That felt good. This is kind of the stuff that you do to play Death Prophet. This playstyle really fits me. It's like tanky aggressiveness, basically. You play really aggressive. You aren't necessarily going to be doing tons of damage while you do it, but you put a lot of pressure on your opponents, essentially. Wow, that was the real one. That was weird. I took mana leaks there, so I had to make sure not to move. I actually forgot to bring the item to myself, so... Oh, I actually hit him accidentally.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Didn't know. And now we're like, free tower. So we got it.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Alright, courier's coming to me now. We took the tower finally. I'm level 16, so my spirits are now maxed out. This gives me 21 spirits. I think. Maybe 27. Maybe 27. I still have a bottle, which is arguably a little late. Don't really need it that bad now. Something I should have done here, by the way, when we go into Roshan, is I should have spawned my illusions and then put the illusions on a move command onto Roshan, because then they would tank the Roshan rather than me taking him. I did actually end up taking a pretty decent amount of damage here. I think I used my mech, sell my TP scroll, and then... Man, my boots still didn't come. Somebody must have stopped the courier. I didn't notice that. There's the mech, at least, but... Oh, that's right, I sent it back. I remember now, because I was like, I want to play mail, so I sent it back and made it wait the extra 10 seconds. And then I was like, okay, good, not dead yet. Pick up the Aegis. And I think I'm going to sell my wand here, I'm pretty sure. Or a bottle? Oh, there's an invis rune. Forgot about that. Alright, so invisibility rune. I can do the same thing as before if I want to. I can go invis, pop my ulti. Death Prophet ulti is actually pretty good for Roshanian, so feel free to do that sometime. Sell the wand, 250 gold. I think keeping a bottle at this point is better than a wand. If you're really low HP, like a support hero or something, I think keeping a wand is better. Oh, that's funny. That was the fake one. That was the real one. And then I was worried about the courier dying for a second time this game. Yeah, if you're really tanky, I think keeping a wand is not the right choice usually. If you're in like a... It's kind of hard to say. If you're like a melee tank or something like that, and maybe it just depends on the hero, like how mana dependent you are. If you're a hard support, I think well, you won't have a bottle anyways. I don't know. It kind of depends on the hero. I think a DPS hero, maybe like a Potom, sometimes can really use the runes. Like a double damage pickup is really, really nice to have. I was considering trying to snake their entrance here. Instead, I think I just cast couple nukes on these little dragons to decrease their possible GPM when they come back, but actually both people have wards up here. Man, my mana regen is really good. Look at that, 18.8 per second. Insanely good mana regen. That's like 5 seconds and I get enough mana for a Crypt Swarm again. And that's why the hero becomes really powerful. You don't really have to rely on the Exorcism to do damage. It's really a lot of spamming Crypt Swarm, which makes it pretty fun. And I just kind of wanted to throw nukes to contest them a bit. I kind of knew that I could be really aggressive, so once again, HP is really high. I have Aegis. I actually popped my Invis and picked up a Haste Rune, so I knew they had a Sentry, most likely, so I didn't hold anything from casting much. I only silenced Keeper Light, which is a pretty big mistake, but I can put my ulti down at least. And doing the Haste Rune as well. Gotta kill that Tombstone. I actually mech'd him in time, it looks like. I wasn't sure if I did before. And now we chase the 2 support heroes. I chose to go after the Lina. I could have gone over the Keeper, but I think Lina's a little more important. The other guy ends up TPing, which is very smart. So I will now go straight towards Undying. Once again, 15 HP per second, tons of mana regen. Now we silence the guy, and he has to run for his life. Man, there's a lot of spirits. Kind of just have to nuke every 4 seconds. That's basically how you play the hero. I didn't really know where they were, but I didn't really have a good way to protect him other than continuously nuking, so just playing it safe. There's the silence once again. I mean, look how useful that is. The range is huge, it's AoE. It stops lots of disables. If they have a BKB, obviously it's not going to do anything, but if you do this really early pushing thing going on with the Death Prophet, then it doesn't make that big of a difference, so. He keeps getting killed a lot by Lina, so. Doomburger takes the tower, of course. So at this point we can try Rax Pressure. We don't have to go for a Rax. We could actually take top tower, but this is arguably more fun. I actually was not really wanting to do this. Meepone was all about diving the high ground, so then I was kind of like, well, I guess we are going in. He just drained all of his mana for nothing. I was like, why did you do that? Also, not saving my silence for the big heroes is important. I should have saved it for like Bane and Lina and stuff. I was actually a little worried about dying here. I was actually kind of upset how little the spirits just killed the zombies. The zombies were always just a plague on me. Mana drain again. A little bit more nuking. That Ravage was pretty solid. You got like a lot of people with it, but really wanted to kill him. Oh, and I missed him. Enfeeble's actually maxed out here, so I do no damage. I noticed that, I believe. Can still nuke, of course. God, that nightmare lasts forever. And I will now make up the team. They called good game, but this game is not over yet. Not completely. It's kind of the scary thing about Death Prophet. These are kind of the strats you should do with her, actually. Like, you shouldn't try to go late game versus a PL with a Death Prophet. It's fun and all, but it's really not that effective. You're really aiming for... I get ultied here, I believe, and nobody noticed, so... Put a silence on him. I tried to die actively there because I wasn't sure what the cooldown on the Aegis was. And that's when I realized that was the right one. I was like, okay, this is the real guy. One problem with Death Prophet though is you can't kill Tombstone fast because you've only got AoE or ulti pretty much. And but it still does damage to Nightmare, which is kind of cool. Look at all those poor Moonwells. They're just taking spirit damage. I think this one I get healed again. 15 Bloodstone charges, by the way. It's 26 mana per second. Really good stuff. I think I'm buying a Shiva's Guard. I can go hard here as well. Ghost Scepter is another possibility, but they actually have a lot of magic damage, so I don't think Ghost Scepter is the right one. But if they do have heroes like Lifestealer or Skeleton King or something like that, I think a Ghost Scepter is actually pretty good. So Shiva's Guard for lots and lots of armor. They'll give me survivability. A pipe is also doable completely. You can do a pipe if you want to for really good magic resistance. I mean, if you're going to tanky hero, covering all the bases is never a bad thing. That includes armor, that includes heals, and that also includes magic resistances. So don't be afraid to grab a mech and a pipe on any tanky hero. It's almost always going to be pretty effective. And even grabbing a regen rune here. And the bottle's still paying off. Like, I can save this until I need it in a team fight. I might not actually use it this game. I don't remember exactly if I do or not. But, I mean, I essentially already have enough regen out of the mech and the bloodstone. But I also opted to buy a vitality booster there just because I knew that after this I was going to want to make a heart. And obviously, in normal cases, I would probably want to save up and buy the Reaver first because I just like buying the expensive item first. But I wasn't quite sure if the game would end, so just opted to put my HP up by 250. So now I'm at a pretty healthy point at 2250 total HP, which is quite good. Great deny by Keeper Life, by the way. I don't think this guy needed a TP out, by the way. He was probably fine with our allies. I kind of mech'd him and stuff, so. Keeper's kind of pushing, don't really care. Like, whatever, dude, I regen. Put my ulti out again, so lots of tower damage. Another good silence on 3 heroes. My Shiva's Guard was like completely wasted there, but still get the Bane actually, and the Lina as well looks pretty in trouble. It's a good stun by Lina once again. Aha, the regen. Missing 1000 HP, time to pop my regen. There we go, we won a team fight, my ulti runs out. Lasts just long enough. Something you guys can do against Death Prophet players is if they haven't engaged yet and the Death Prophet pops their ulti, just back up. Because it is on a timer, of course. It's not the best ulti, like it's very powerful, but it's not exactly like, oh my god, end of the world. I really want to nuke that. Don't be afraid to use your nuke to kill illusions and things like that as well. Those are also very, very good options. I've got the mana for it after all. Like, you should basically be casting Crypt Swarm every 4 seconds. You should have the mana to afford to do that as well. And Undyne's gonna die now. 3,400 gold. And that is pretty much Death Prophet and the powerhouse that she is. If you can have a decent lane, get decent last hits, turn that into some tank items, this is how you should be playing. Aggressive, lots of nuking, pushing with your allies. Things like that. She doesn't get played much in the pro scene. Actually, she gets played pretty much nothing at all. But I think she's a decent hero. Definitely a decent enough pub hero by all means. So if you guys want to try her out sometime, go for it. Grab some heroes in the fountain, actually. If I went all in there, I might have been able to kill the Coddle, I think. But I think that's about it, so. Yep. So that's it for my Death Prophet game. Hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you liked the extra commentary. I'll probably try to do these a little bit more often so you get more comments rather than just me staring and playing video games the whole time. I'm still really tired, and I'm going to go to bed pretty early tonight, like 9 p.m., but sorry for the delay in uploading today. I forgot about this game until late this night. But thanks everyone for tuning in. I did plan to stream today, but I never got around to it either, so sorry about that. But hopefully tomorrow. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and hopefully stream all day. So if you guys want to watch that, twitch.tv/Purge Gamers. That's right, new URL. And thanks to everybody for tuning in. Go follow me on Facebook or Twitter at the same extension. Yes, all my extensions are the same now. All of my URLs are the same. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, everything. Stream, Twitch. Okay, cool. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.